Hello, Rangers fans. Welcome along to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, channel that brings you your team every single day, all for free, guys. Just smash that sub, ring that notification bell. Well, you know what? It's Thursday. It is Thursday the 23rd. That's correct. Thursday the 23rd of November. And you know what? It's great, isn't it? It's finally over. It's finally done and dusted. There is no more international break now. We are focusing solely on, obviously, real, proper football. I know some fans don't like me saying that, but guys, look, I don't like international football. It's boring. If it's not Rangers, I ain't interested. That's just the way it is, you know. Look, even my look, I can't see the picture, but even my work lanyard. That's my lanyard from work. Look at it. That's what I wear at work all the time. To the core, boy. To the core, guys. To the core. Anyway, so let's talk all things Rangers. Let's talk a little bit about, obviously, this game coming up at the weekend. Now, obviously, we look forward to Philippe Clement's press conference when that comes around. For what he's got to say about the game and the build-up to the game. Updates, obviously, on injuries, although he doesn't give much of an injury timeline away, does he? He's not that sort of manager. We're also going to talk a little bit about another former Rangers player wading in on Aberdeen a little, perhaps a little bit less, obvious and a little bit less direct than Boydie, but still having a little dig if you hear what he has to say. And we'll talk about what Arthur Newman has been having to say about Aberdeen. Now, obviously, Aberdeen surrendered like sheep before the international break in a 6-0 humiliation to that lot from across the city. You know what? As they always do, they never ever try against Celtic, do they? They always just give up as soon as they run on the pitch. As soon as they see those green and white shirts, they kind of, oh, look, it's them, praise them, oh, they're so amazing. You know, even though they're not, and just give in to them. That's what Aberdeen do. You know, Aberdeen, like I said, and I've said a number of times before, are an embarrassment of a football club. You know, I was fortunate to, well, fortunate's not the right word. I grew up, you know, at the time when Alex Ferguson was the manager of Aberdeen. And back then, they were a force. They were a force to be reckoned with. They won the league title. They were the last non-old firm team to win the league title under Sir Alex Ferguson. And you know what? I bet if you said to Sir Alex Ferguson, what do you make of Aberdeen now these days, Sir Alex? He would call them an embarrassment as well. He would be ashamed of what they've become and how they conduct themselves on and off the park these days. He really would be. And, you know, they are pretty much a laughing stock of a team. They think they're a big club, but you know what? They can't even sell their stadium out, which is a bit of a laugh in all. So, you know, let's have a little, first off, have a little look at the results record. And then we're going to look at what Arthur Newman's going to say. And then we're going to talk about the team and we'll talk about building up to the game, obviously on Sunday, which will be live streamed here on the channel. So here's the results record of the last 6 games between Rangers and Aberdeen. As you can see, it's a bit of a mixed record there for Rangers and Aberdeen. The last 6 games, Aberdeen have won 2, lost 4. So obviously Rangers have won 4, lost 2. So, you know, the most recent game, Ibrox finished 3-1, hence the title for the video, Time for Revenge. A game that ultimately cost Michael Beale's job. I mean, we all kind of say thank God in a way, because let's face it, he did deserve to go. And you've got the game last season. We're at home, 1-0 victory to Rangers in a not great performance. I think it was the one where Goldson and Duke had that wrestling match on the edge of the area. Then, obviously, that horrible 2-0 away defeat at Pittodrie last season, which was just a disgrace. That was after that lot across the city had lost points against Motherwell. So, you know, a 2-0 defeat, that Liam Scales fluke shot that went in over Alan McGregor's head. You know, and we missed it. That was the game where we missed an awful lot of chances. We did miss an awful lot of chances in that game, and we were pretty poor, even though Michael Beale insisted the better team lost the game. But let's face it, that's Michael Beale all over, isn't it? Before that, it was a 2-1 win for Rangers at Ibrox, a 3-2 win at Aberdeen. Before that, obviously, that was the Scotty Arfield game when Scotty came off the bench and got those 2 goals. And before that, a 4-1 victory at home against Aberdeen. So, you know, look at the last couple of Pittodrie games. We played a loss and a win. So a mix, you know, a 1-1 record there. You know, it's a game that's, you know, they are going to be up for. Of course they're going to be up for. And, you know, and Graham Shinney, one of their players, was talking about it today. And he was talking about the fact that, you know, after a humiliating defeat like they suffered the other day, that, any team would be up for the next game, no matter who they're playing. You're trying to con us on with that one, Graham. It's a hilarious one, but apparently they say they're going to be bang up for it, right up for it, I think was his words, to seek to kind of, pay their fans back after that horrible humiliation at Celtic. But, former Rangers player Arthur Newman has been having his say about what Boydie said and about this whole, Aberdeen Rangers thing. And look, the thing is, I think you look at it this way. Graham Roberts, I remember Graham Roberts saying it. Graham Roberts once said that, in his opinion, you've got a situation where, they play, Aberdeen should be ashamed of themselves. They play like it's their Champions League final against Rangers, but never try against anyone else. Something that Chris Boyd obviously then went on to agree with. It is, I think, a game. It is, look, it's difficult to say, but there is an element of truth in it, I think, and that's coming from a Rangers fan, I know. But if you look at the games, you look at the way they play them across the city, then you look at the way they play us. And obviously that lot across the city, that's because they're a better team than us. But, even, I would say at this moment, in time that, even in past years, Eve, as well, the way they go at us, even when we've had a good teams, even during the Steven Gerrard season, I know we didn't lose that time, but they still put more effort in against Rangers, and it's effort rather than just the fact that, that perhaps we're not that great a team. This is what Arthur Newman had to say. He said, Rangers should be ready for a backlash for Aberdeen on Sunday. Barry Robson and his players will be hurting and should feel embarrassed after losing 6-0 to Celtic before the international break. But Philippe Clement will make sure his team can cope with anything that the home side throws at them. Going to Pittodrie is never easy, and I feel that Aberdeen supporters will try to make it as intimidating as possible. Their fans want to see their team beat us more than any other side. I include Celtic in that. However, that shouldn't matter to us. We should take care of ourselves and make sure we give everything to head back down the road with the 3 points in the bag. Philippe has the team in a good place and heading in the right direction. Sure, the last time we met them was at Ibrox and they defeated us 3-1. It turned out to be Michael Beale's last game in charge. Clearly, we were well below the standards required that afternoon, but the warning signs had been there in different games in the previous 6 weeks. We are now on an upward trajectory, but there is still a lot of hard work to be done and a long road ahead. Interesting comments there from Arthur Newman. A few things just to pick out. The first thing is, the fact that he even goes on to say that, this is the game that their supporters want to win above all others, even above Celtic, who, obviously in recent years have been more successful in terms of collecting trophies. He says they'll try and make it intimidating. They'll try and have a go. Of course they will. Of course they will. And it is kind of a dress rehearsal for the final. Although both Graham Shinnie and Arthur Newman said that in their opinions, they are two separate games and it has nothing to do with the final. So that is another thing that is there in the back of their minds, is in the back of both sets of players' minds, that Viaplay League Cup final, which comes on December the 17th at Hampden Park. In fact, I think Newman said, he said, I fully expect us to lift the trophy, but I don't think what happens on Sunday will have any impact as to what happens at Hampden Park on December the 17th. We've been beating Aberdeen and it's up to the players to deliver. They need to target the 3 points and do what is necessary to get the job done. I've got to say, I wholeheartedly agree with Arthur Newman in what he says. It is a game we need to win. We know, as well as any others, we can't afford to lose any more games in the league. We can't afford to fall behind, even with a game in hand. It's not a luxury we've got, because we win this, we win our game in hand. It's back down to 5 points. You win the Old Firm game on the 30th of December, it's 2 points. It's right back in there, and then you're going to see Celtic under a lot of pressure, something they haven't been under a lot in recent seasons. It is a situation, going into this weekend that is another must win. Every league game has become a must win because of the circumstances we find ourselves in. I honestly think that, it'll be good because we'll do well for a number of reasons. Number one, Clement will have us prepared and ready to go. And number two, we're starting to get back players. There's a good chance that Raskin will be back. There's a good chance that Matondo could be back. It gives Philippe Clement a whole different range of players to pick from and choose from, which is, only going to stand the team in good stead at Pittodrie on Sunday. Obviously, here on Glasgow Rangers Nation, we will continue to build up to that game. I'll bring you my selection of my team. Obviously, we'll bring you the game live, the breaking news of the team news live. We'll obviously get to you as much of a preview as possible, as well as obviously bringing you all the latest news around the club. Well, guys, thank you for watching this slightly short video this morning. Please obviously hit the sub, help us to keep on growing. And as always, on the way out, 2 things, guys. Smash the like. And number 2, remember always, we are the people.